Have you ever wondered why some people seem to rise effortlessly while others grind for years and never break through? It's not just talent, it's not luck, and it's definitely not about having the right connections. The truth is, the difference between those who level up in life and those who stay stuck comes down to habits, but not just the obvious ones like waking up early or going to the gym. I'm talking about the hidden habits, the ones no one talks about, the quiet routines, the subtle shifts in mindset, the small decisions made every day when no one's watching. You won't see these habits on social media. They're not flashy. They don't make for viral content, but they work, they compound, and they create transformation over time. Most people focus on intensity, the 1%. They focus on consistency. It's not the person who runs the hardest for a week who wins. It's the one who keeps showing up every day, even when it's boring, even when they're tired, even when no one's clapping. They don't rely on motivation. They build systems, and when life gets hard, and it always does, it's those systems that carry them through. They don't need to feel inspired to act. They've built their lives so that action is automatic. One of the first invisible habits the top 1% share is delayed reaction. They don't respond emotionally to everything. When something goes wrong, they don't spiral. They pause, they process, they reflect, they ask, what does this mean? What can I learn? How can I grow? Most people react in the moment. They let their emotions drive the wheel. The 1% learn to sit in discomfort without making rash decisions. They master their state because they know their emotional state dictates their long term trajectory. They also protect their attention like it's gold, because it is. You'll never find them doom scrolling or arguing in comment sections. They know energy flows where attention goes, so they guard their input. They audit what they consume. Every podcast, every video, every conversation. They curate their environment to support who they're becoming. And that's another hidden habit, identity driven behavior. They don't just chase goals, they ask, who do I need to become to sustain this success? And then they act in alignment with that identity, even before the results show up. They don't wait to feel like a winner. They act like one. They walk like one. They train like one. Even when no one's watching, they're practicing the future. Most people try to achieve and then become. The 1% become and then achieve. That's why they're not thrown off by setbacks. A failure doesn't destroy them, because they weren't doing it just for the outcome. They were doing it because that's who they are. They also don't need to be told what to do every day. They have internal standards. They don't ask, what can I get away with? They ask, what's required of me if I want to live at my highest level? Most people lower the bar to match their comfort zone. The top 1% raise their behavior to meet their standards, even when it's hard, especially when it's hard. They do what's required, not just what's convenient. You'll also notice they carry themselves with a quiet intensity, not loud, not boastful, but focused. It's a mindset that says, I don't need to talk about what I'm doing. My results will speak. You can see it in their posture. You can hear it in their tone. They're not desperate for validation. They're committed to mastery. And here's something powerful. They forgive fast. They don't waste time holding grudges or rehashing mistakes. They know that resentment is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to suffer, so they release it. Not for the other person, but for their own freedom. Because here's the truth, emotional weight slows you down, and they refuse to carry what doesn't serve them. They're too focused on their future to be chained to their past. Another invisible habit, they rest with intention. This one surprises people, but high performers don't burn out by accident. They build recovery into their systems. They know that you can't pour from an empty cup, so they protect their sleep. They schedule solitude. They unplug to recharge. But here's the difference. They don't rest to escape. They rest to return stronger. That's a big shift. Most people crash after burnout. The 1% recover before they crash. They also operate from long time horizons. While most people are chasing quick wins, they're building decade long momentum. They ask, what would the best version of me do for the next 5 years, even if no one noticed? And they don't need external pressure to keep going. They're self accountable. They don't blame the world. They take radical responsibility for their results. Even when it's not their fault, they make it their responsibility to change. And when you live like that, life stops happening to you and starts happening for you. Every setback becomes fuel, every delay becomes training, every challenge becomes a stepping stone. So, how do you start living like that? You don't need to copy someone else's routine. You don't need to wake up at 4 a.m. or drink celery juice or run marathons unless that's aligned with your vision. What you need is awareness. Audit your day. Ask, what invisible habits are shaping my outcomes right now? Because you already have habits. Every choice you make is a vote for the person you're becoming. Are those votes building your future or breaking it? Are you reacting or responding? Are you waiting or moving? Start with one small shift. Don't aim to overhaul everything at once. Just pick one invisible habit and install it. Maybe it's journaling every night to review your day. Maybe it's starting your morning without your phone. Maybe it's drinking water before caffeine. Maybe it's 10 minutes of silence before you start working. Stack small wins. Celebrate consistency. Build systems that make the right thing easy and the wrong thing hard. And keep showing up. Because here's the truth, most people will quit. They'll start strong, they'll feel motivated, they'll make a plan. But the first time life gets hard, or they don't see results, they'll fold. You? You're going to be different. You're going to keep showing up, even when no one notices. You're going to choose discipline over distraction, progress over perfection, identity over outcome. And if you do that, if you keep stacking those invisible habits, there will come a day when the results are impossible to ignore. You'll walk into a room and people will feel it. You'll speak and people will listen. You'll live in a way that reflects the work you did when no one was watching. That's the power of the hidden habits. That's how the 1% are made. And if this message spoke to something inside you, if you're ready to stop living on autopilot and start becoming who you were meant to be, then you're exactly where you need to be. This channel is built for people like you, people who are done waiting, people who are ready to elevate. So if you want more videos like this, more mindset shifts, more daily fuel, more tools to stay consistent when motivation fades, subscribe now. Hit that button, turn on the bell, and let's build this together. Because this isn't just a video, this is a movement, and we're just getting started. You've got this. Let's keep going.